Okay, here we are in week 4. What? Let's jump right into it and talk nutrition this week. This week, I'm going to give you 2 accountability challenges. Number 1, I'm going to ask you to post pictures of your food one day this week. That means taking pictures of everything that you consume and no cheating. I want a picture of every single thing that you are eating throughout the day. Now, you can just take these snaps and then send them to me at the end of the day in the app Messenger, or you can send them to me as you go, especially if you have questions. Secondly, when you do your groceries this week, I want you to take a picture of your receipt, okay? Why do I want you to do this? Because if you are constantly bringing in food that you don't really want to be eating into your house, eventually you are going to eat it, all right? We all succumb to that. If there are fish crackers in my house, I'm going to eat them. So take a picture of your receipt and we're going to post it in the Facebook group. Now, this week's nutritional skill really translates into the life of a mom, and here's why. It's not always possible to have a perfect eating day, is it? But we always have a choice. So this week, what we're working on is what is the better choice with what's available to you. I'm going to give you a few options, but I really want you to start thinking about what is the better choice, what is the poorer choice, and always making the choice that serves you. I will give you some examples of what might typically be available and around and convenient, and what you can change or choose instead to make it that much healthier. And I encourage you this week, if you have any really great food hacks, to post them in the Facebook group. Okay, let's move on to workouts. This week we're going to be talking about NEAT. It's really neat.
It's a really neat topic.
It's really neat. Okay, I'm done with that. What does NEAT mean? It is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. What it basically means is we're going to focus on the non-workout workouts, which means all of the other activity or movement that you do throughout the day that's not necessarily a regimented exercise routine. And let me tell you why this is so important. All of this extra movement that we do throughout the day or don't do throughout the day actually helps determine your metabolism. Your body should actually be able to tell you how much food to take in, so sending those hunger cues based on the amount of movement that you do throughout the day. And vice versa, if you are taking in too much food, it should want you to be moving extra just to account for those extra calories. So can you see now how that extra movement that you do throughout the day is so vitally important? So let's look at things like always taking the stairs. No matter what, elevators and escalators are out of it for you. I really encourage you to park at the farthest space in the parking lot. Now, especially if you are juggling 3 kids, it's pretty much like doing a triathlon. Now, as most of you know, car seats are an amazing workout. I'm also going to be giving you some videos this week for energy building exercises. Now, I popped some of them into last week's emails and on the website, and this week I just want to teach you a little bit more about it if you are interested. So go ahead and jump onto the website and check out those videos if you'd like some really quick energy boosting exercises. Okay, let's jump into mindset this week. So I think and I hope by now that you have realized that this isn't at all about torturing yourself for 28 days to achieve something that isn't sustainable. It's about habits, patterns, and your behaviors, right? It's really a mentality that allows you to transform and change. So let's actually look at the story that you tell yourself about your health and fitness. I'll give you an example. I was just talking to a guy a couple of days ago, and he's the guy who is always hopped up on coffee, who never eats any vegetables and only likes hot dogs. But now that he's getting a little bit older, he's starting to realize how much it's affecting his health. He's got a big belly, he's got sleep apnea, and he really wants to be able to make some changes. The problem is that he's really dedicated and committed to this story that he's been telling himself for so long. The coffee, the no vegetables, the hot dogs. So ultimately, I asked him, well, what is more important to you? Being the coffee guy who eats no vegetables and only eats hot dogs, or your health? So really ask yourself what your recognized story is. And does it serve you? And here are 7 steps that you can use to change your story. A roadmap. Okay, here's the R for roadmap. Recognize that you are writing the story. It's not a given. You are either creating or agreeing to everything that you think, feel, and experience. Here's the O. Own your story. Take ownership. It's not just happening to you. I want you to have a strategy that you can call on that allows you to deconstruct your story and therefore create a new one that lasts. A. Access your story. What is working really well? Do more of that. What isn't? Don't do that anymore. Don't do an old story harder because it's not working. So choose what to keep, what to enhance, and what to just let go of. D. Decide specifically what to change. For example, if you're not sleeping well, take the steps to sleep better. Decide specifically what to change. M is for mapping the change. Create a map for exactly what you want. Make it tangible, make it real. This creates both internal and external accountability because you will know it in your heart, but also on your change map. A is for authoring the change that you want to see. Now, what does that mean? Because there will always be the pull of the old habits and the fear of the new. And sometimes that can completely polarize you from actually taking action. Think about all the things that we do to stop ourselves, the little bargains that we make with ourselves. I'll start next week. I just need to get over this holiday once my kids get older. Instead of going through crazy anxiety or anything, let's just recognize that this is a mechanism in your brain that's trying to save you, okay? Every time we learn something new, it has to develop little neural pathways, and that takes energy, and your brain hates that, okay? So it's going to try and stop you at every chance it gets because routine is our default model and change gets detected as something that is not right. So in essence, we really just use this as a justification to not go through the process and actually make a change. Okay, we're on to P, and this is to program a new identity. Really fun, right? This is how we change the model of who we are to actually make our story fit in. We always return to our identity. So if you begin to make these changes without truly internalizing them, knowing why you're doing them and why you want them, you might just revert back to what you were before. In fact, you will revert back to the familiar. Consolidating your identity around a successful, expansive story is really key. And it's so significant because this will become what you return to when you need to make a new decision. And that's your roadmap. And one of the most key parts of that is having a strategy to turn to when you really want some direction. I call it the Training Life Milestones to a Hell Yes Life. What we do is work backwards. So I like to use a 3-year span. So if you can imagine what your ideal self would be like in 3 years. So I'm not just talking about your body or your fitness, but maybe money, career, what your family looks like, what your relationships look like, what your house looks like, everything. When you get a really clear picture of what it is that you want in 3 years, you can then work backwards to figure out what it is you actually have to do today. Let's see how we do that. First, you want to look at what is it that you would have to accomplish in 1 year in order to get to where you want to be in 3 years. So let's look at an example of a millionaire. If you wanted to be a millionaire, you couldn't just wake up and be one overnight, right? If you said I wanted to be a millionaire in 3 years, there would have to be certain things you would have to hit by 1 year. A certain amount of money you'd already have to be making, a certain skill set, a certain network, all of these things that you'd have to hit in order to be on track to be a millionaire in 3 years. Now, once you list all of those things you'd have to have accomplished in 1 year, you can then go back and say, okay, well, what would I have to do in 90 days to be on track to hitting my goals for 1 year? And then you break it down even smaller. What do I have to do in the next month to hit my goals in 90 days? What do I have to do in the next week to hit my goals for the next month? And finally, what do I have to do today to make sure that I hit that target for 1 week? This breaks down your big picture dreams into small, bite-sized pieces that you can actually take action on every single day. So go ahead and get started with the Training Life Milestones to a Hell Yes Life. Here's your bonuses for this week. Okay, so this week I'm going to give you an option to do a review of this program. Now, your reviews really help us to improve the program and also hear in your own words exactly what works and exactly what you feel you could learn more about. So if you have a moment, please do go ahead and drop a review when you're prompted this week. Secondly, if you love this program as much as we hope you have, I really encourage you to become a Training Life partner or affiliate. It's super easy. All you have to do is go ahead and sign up at the link that I'm going to give to you. Make sure you have a PayPal account that you can link to it, and then Then I provide you with all the marketing materials and different info that you will need in order to make some big time money. Because this program and this platform is built on moms helping moms, we're going to give you a really generous commission of 50%. Because we're not only about hot bodies, we're also about hot bank accounts. Don't forget, you're going to be taking your final photos this week, and that means that a challenge winner is coming up soon. The mama who wins the challenge will be given 3 free months of Training Life coaching. This is your next level Training Life coaching. It is the 12-week program that we essentially designed to help moms get their shit together. This programming helps you in more areas than just fitness. We work on relationships, business, parenting, environmental factors. We have experts in all different areas who have come together to really create an amazing program to help you get your shit together. So if you're ready to up level and really learn about the amazing opportunities that you have as a mom, not only for your health and fitness, but also for your bigger life goals, jump into the 12-week program and really be a part of something incredibly special.